Hello, I'm John Hunt. I'm a Coast Guard veteran. I get my care from the VA Medical Center in Syracuse, New York, and I'm here today to introduce you to the GeroFit Tai Chi that's hosted by Tony and Allie.
Nearly all older adults can safely meet the national recommendations of engaging in low to moderate intensity physical activity. Do not exercise if you have any symptoms that have not been evaluated by your healthcare provider, such as pain in your chest, abdomen or joints, unusual swelling, difficulty catching your breath, dizziness, or fluttering in your chest. If you experience any of these symptoms, stop and reevaluate before continuing. If you have any further questions, discuss your exercise plan with your healthcare provider.
Hello, thanks for joining us for this GeroFit Tai Chi Qigong class. My name is Allie Hackett. I'm a physical therapist with the Syracuse GeroFit program.
And I'm Tony May. I'm a physical therapist with the GeroFit program here in Syracuse as well.
We're delighted you joined us. So for today's class, we'll go through some movements. They can be done seated or standing. If you're doing the movements seated, just feel free to use your arms. The goal is to work at about 70% of your effort and to really enjoy the class with a smile. The reason I'm starting off with a kangaroo outfit on is to help demonstrate what we call our Tai Chi or Qigong alignment. So when we are doing our practice, our goal is to not be rounded, not be super stiff, but to be somewhere in the middle. There's a nice ease with the relaxed effort for our alignment. And our spine will be lengthening up to the extent that we can get it. And if we imagine a giant tail sticking off our tailbone, we'd want to have it sort of kickstanding down just a little bit, which helps to put the pelvis and hips in a comfortable position to start the class. And from there, the chest bone lifts up and the shoulders relax. All right, so when you're ready, sitting or standing, just find your nice Tai Chi Qigong alignment. Tailbone tucked just gently, like a giant tail behind you is kickstanding down, chest lifted, shoulders down and back, and if you can, a gentle smile on your face. Now that you're ready to begin, with your eyes open or shut, whichever feels best for you, please take a few deep breaths in and out. And the first thing we'll do here is take our internal temperature. So for that, what I mean is to notice how maybe relaxed or at ease you feel right now at the start of class. If you were going to relate how relaxed or at ease you feel on a scale of 0 to 10 now, where 0 means you're not relaxed at all. You're very tense or anxious or nervous or stiff, tight, uncomfortable. And 10 means you feel just delightful flexibility in your body, peace of mind and openness, happiness, contentment, satisfaction. Note what number you would rate yourself at right now, and we'll recheck that at the end of the class so that you can see how the class works or not for you. Next, we'll try a movement check. This is something we'll check again at the end of class as well to see how the practice impacts your movement. So for today's movement check, Dr. Tony May and I will first look to one side and take note of how far we can see behind us. And then smoothly, gradually, fluidly, we'll look to the other side and take note of how far we can look and how it feels. All right, we're ready to begin. So to begin, we're going to inhale and let the arms float up, like there's a warm draft of air lifting them up, and then we're just going to exhale and let them float down, sink down in front of us. We'll repeat this movement at times throughout the class. It's known as sinking the qi. So the words qi and Tai Chi and Qigong mean energy. It doesn't translate exactly to the words that I learned in school related to movement, about strength, endurance, flexibility, or balance. My understanding is that it's more of a general term about what makes things alive? What makes the grass grow? What makes the trees reach up? What makes the rivers move? What makes our blood circulate? The idea with these practices is to help our body move fluidly in a natural way. Inhale and exhale. This movement is called sinking the chi. Just bring whatever's going to help us with our movement and health in today and sink it into our bodies. Nice work. After this next movement, sinking the chi, we're going to switch to opening the door. So smoothly and steadily here, the arms will just float up in front of us, and then the elbows will lead the movement as we imagine brushing our fingertips down the front of a waterfall. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. This is a common opening movement in many kinds of Tai Chi practice. Today, it's fall here in upstate New York, and this is a wonderful time of year to go on hot air balloon rides, which neither of us have ever done, but I must say I'm tempted to try it. So here I could even imagine the flames in a hot air balloon reaching up and starting to inflate that balloon. Breathe in and out. Nice. If you're comfortable sitting or standing, it's okay to lean forward a little bit as you inhale and lean backwards a little bit as you exhale. Working on weight shifting either from your sitting bones or from the bottoms of your feet. One of the many wonderful benefits to Tai Chi and Qigong is that it helps to improve our sense of awareness of where we are in space, and it can decrease fall risk. And avoiding a fall is a great way to avoid an injury so that we can keep doing the things we want to do. Nice work, everybody. Now that balloon is just about inflated. So next what we can do is actually look to one side, because we're going to be standing in the basket here, or imagining we are, and watching the inside of the balloon inflate and sway a little bit side to side in the breeze. If reaching up overhead doesn't work today for your body, another option is to keep the arms down by the sides and just sway gently from one side to the other, feeling the shift of weight beneath the bones of your pelvis or beneath your feet. This movement is called bamboo and wind. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, exhale. We'll try one more here. Beautiful, and then we'll go back to sinking the chi. So here, the balloon basket is starting to float up above the ground. We're starting off our journey today in Western New York, where one of our GeroFit friends lives out in Buffalo. And our unnamed GeroFit friend is someone who enjoys Niagara Falls. So we can imagine looking out over one side of the basket and seeing the falls there. Just enjoying that beautiful view. Inhaling, looking out to the other side of the basket. So here our gaze can go far into the distance and then come back in where we see our hands, and then go far away, seeing the view on our wonderful hot air balloon ride here. Wherever you are, I hope that you're able to see some beautiful things. Nice, and now we're just gonna let that hot air balloon flame come up, and then we can open up as we float a little bit eastward on the breeze. It's coming up, Chest opens, the arms open wide. We take in the beautiful view here. Going all the way over Rochester, New York. Seeing some beautiful horse farms maybe. And then we'll head over to Onondaga County, where some of our GeroFit members locally and staff live. Before we get all the way to Syracuse, we'll pass over Fayetteville, which is where one of Tony's favorite places is, Green Lake State Park. We'll take in the beautiful view there. And the balloon will keep floating east. As we gaze out along the horizon, we can see the state fairgrounds. And then as we head even further east, we'll head to the Copper City of Rome, New York. And here, we can actually practice polishing a copper bundt cake. So for this, we're gonna inhale and let the arms float up. The wrist lead, almost like we're led by marionette strings. And then we're just gonna take our imaginary cloth and gently polish the inside of a brass bundt cake. I'm not sure if there are any brass bundt cakes in the world. I'm using my imagination today. So here we go, inhale, and then exhale. If it feels good to you, doing the heart sound, the sound, can be very pleasant to help there be some vibration in the chest and release any excess tension there. Inhale, exhale. This movement is known as lung cleansing. Breathing in and out. Beautiful, and breathing in and out. Beautiful. And next what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually float a little bit further east over Utica, New York. And now here we can actually let the fingertips drift together and then reach them up overhead, and then they stretch apart. Nice. We'll try that to the other side. So we can take in the views to the north, to the south, to the east, and the west. Beautiful. The hands float up and then spread. Nice. They float. Beautiful. And then spread. Nice. Now here, we're going to inhale. And as we exhale and take in the beautiful view, we're going to pause for a moment, pressing our hands away from each other to create some length along the front part of the body. Pressing the heels of the hands away from each other will allow the shoulders to pull back. And then we can turn to look behind us to see how far we've come so far on our trip and our class today. And then just turn to gaze forward and know there's more good stuff to come. And then the hands can sink down and the fingertips will draw together as we inhale and look out to the other side. And again, we can gaze behind us, pressing the heels of the palms away from each other, stretching the collarbones wide, keeping our sitting bones or our feet plugged into the earth, and see where we came from. And then gently and smoothly gaze forward and know that there's more good stuff to come on our trip. Here we can gaze far away and close up, and far away and close up. And then let the arms drift down smoothly. We'll try that one more time to each side. Inhaling up, exhaling, reach the arms away. And then gazing behind you, look off into the distance, and then look close up at your hand. And then look off into the distance and close up. Once more, see what's far behind you, and then close up, and then gaze forward. And now here again, shift your gaze. Far away and close up. Far away and close up. Once more here, far away and close up. The arms float down, they'll sink down and then come up. Breathing in fully and deeply, and then if you want to exhale, Gaze behind you. I'm imagining I can see to Pennsylvania, and then I'm looking inside the basket. It's quite a reach. Good, and look forward. Breathing fully, letting the lungs and the ribs expand and contract. Bringing in some fresh air to nourish yourself. The arms will float down and we'll go back to sinking the chi. Nice, and at this point that hot air balloon is filling up a little bit more. So as we float over Utica, New York, and we see the golf course in the city, and the zoo in the city, and the downhill ski slope in the city, we're just ready to enjoy it all. Now the hands will float up and out, and then back together. One hand over the other, palms facing each other. Inhale, open up, and the hands float to stack on top of each other the other way. Good. Now we'll inhale, good, and we'll have the hands float. Good. Now the top hand, we're just gonna let drop, or we can stick it in our pocket or behind our back. And the bottom hand, we're just gonna watch it float up and away. And then it'll drift down and back, and it'll float up and away. So at this point on our journey, we might be starting to get a little bit peckish. Unfortunately, we're over a city with lots of good food. So here I can even imagine a waiter holding up a tray filled with delicious local food. Whether it's tomato pie, or chicken riggies, or Utica greens. Beautiful. Now this top hand here is going to sink down. We'll go back to that first hand that was taking a rest, and we're actually just going to press it down towards our hip, and then let it come back up. And as we do this, our whole torso will turn to one side. Nice. Just feeling that inhalation, inflate the lungs, and the exhalation lets it deflate. Beautiful. All right, so we've got the two separate hand movements down. Now we'll put them together. So we'll come back to the starting position here, and one hand will come down, the other's gonna float up. You got it, beautiful. So with this one, it's called parting the wild horse's mane. So some people might imagine they're stroking the mane, or stroking the neck of a horse and brushing its mane. And I'm going to imagine I'm lifting up the lid of a pot and seeing what's inside. And then bringing a plate of it over to Tony. Nice. All right, here we go. The hands come together. They're going to float up and open. And then they'll come back, one on top of the other. Nice. We'll try that 2 more times. This movement is called Embracing the Moon. We're embracing our journey here. Enjoying beautiful upstate New York. And now we'll try the same thing going to the other side. So one hand will come down and the other hand's gonna drift up and over. Inhale, and then exhale. If you're comfortable standing and balancing, you can even step one foot out in front and then shift your weight back. It's not required. This practice is wonderful for working on coordination, and the rhythmic, smooth breathing helps to soothe the nervous system. All right, now we'll switch to the other hand. It's going to come up to about chest height, and then as we rotate, it's going to press down towards the hip. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I hope you're feeling well. How are you feeling, Tony? Oh, good. Oh, good. Now we're going to put both hands together here as we part the wild horse's mane. So the bottom hand floats up and the top hand presses down. Inhale, and then exhale. If you can add in a little smile, it does make it more fun. If you were here, I would offer you a beautiful plate of local dishes. One more here. Beautiful. And the hands will drift together. You can step the foot back in if it was out to the side. Press down, storing some of that good energy from our nutritious meal inside us. We've got a little bit of energy now from our healthy meal for our final leg of a trip. And we're gonna be heading up north. We're gonna be heading up through Jefferson and Lewis counties, visiting Whetstone Gulf, seeing some of our friends in the Watertown area. You know who you are. Maybe taking a whitewater rafting trip on the Black River. And then finally, for the last leg of our journey, we're gonna head far north to St. Lawrence County, Tony's home county and the home of another one of our local Gerofitters, where you can see the beautiful St. Lawrence Riverway. Nice. And at this point, we might be ready for a little bit of a bath after our long day. So what we'll do next is just do a little bit of the bathing breath. And for this, we're actually gonna scoop down and forwards, like we're reaching into some fresh water and just letting it come down over us, washing our face, getting off anything that's stuck to us from the journey, a little bit of dust. Breathing in fresh air, feeling cleansed after a wonderful day of fun and play and healthy movement, which can keep us balanced, flexible, mobile, and strong. We appreciate you joining us here today. Try one more bathing breath in, and then out. And the arms will float up to the sides. Fingers will magnetize together, press down. And that nice heart sound. Try 2 more of these. Storing those nice scenes that we saw in, storing in all the health benefits of our movement, our good fun. And then if you're seated, you can bring your knees closer. If you're standing and you're comfortable, you can bring your feet closer. And we'll just pause here. Your eyes can be open or closed in your lovely, healthy Tai Chi Qigong posture, with your imaginary tail kickstanding behind you, your chest bone lifting up, your shoulder blades sliding down the back of your body, and your head floating up towards the sky. And now here is a final closing. You can do some nice tapping. So here, sitting or standing, we're just going to tap gently over the stomach, going up and down, above and below the belly button, with light fists or flat palms. It's kind of like beating a bongo drum. And when you're ready, just go to one side, going up and down between the lower ribs and the top of your pelvis. Giving that area a little bit of attention. It's kind of fun. And then when you're ready, go ahead and switch to the other side. Nice gentle tapping here. And then when you're ready, come back to the midline. And then if you can, gently tap over the sides of your hips. Giving this area a little wake-up call. And come back into the midline. Just come right up over your chest bone. Oh, I hope I didn't bother you with the mic noise there. Sorry if I did. And just tap up and down. This is tapping over an area called the Sea of Tranquility right here. So tapping over this area helps to release physical and emotional tension. And if you, again, like to make the heart sound, the ah sound, it goes along really well with this. Ah, completely optional. If using soft fists doesn't feel great, it's okay to do this with pronged fingers or flat palms. And we'll come up over one side and just tap beneath the collarbone. Taking deep breaths in and out, letting this area open up a little bit. And then we'll actually just open our palm up and tap all the way down the inside of the arm to the wrist, and then tap back up the outside of the arm. Giving ourselves a nice pat on the back, literally. And then we'll repeat that move, going down the arm, and then back up the back part of the arm. And one more time here. Appreciating all the work and done to bring good, healthy circulation in your body. Then coming across, we'll do that on the other side. So we'll tap right underneath the collarbone. And then come down the arm. And then back up the arm. Nice to get a good pat on the back. And patting on this area here, where the upper back can also help to release some tension that can commonly be held in that area. Beautiful. Nice job. And finally, we'll do 10 dragons. So with this movement, we'll imagine our 10 dragons, or 10 fingers, just combing through our hair. Starting in the middle at the hairline and going all the way back to the back of the head, the top of the neck. Out to in. And if you notice any spots that feel a little tight or stiff or sore and you want to spend some extra time over them, feel free to. It's okay to push with light or moderate or strong pressure, whichever feels good. Nice, just bringing that circulation in here. Good work. And then, just shake it off. And last movement here, we'll do some shaking. So we're just gonna bounce. This is nothing elegant or choreographed, it's just bouncing. So it's just letting any tension that's still stuck or stiff in the body just shake loose. You can do the heart sound if you'd like. You might hear the helicopter going overhead. Beautiful, and then let the arms come up. You're just shaking up. Whew. Getting any tension in there, out, out, out. And then with an exhale, you can let your arms drop. Nice job. We'll try 2 more, just like that. Just bouncing and shaking to your comfort level. Letting the arms float up here. And then, and come down. Nice. Last one here. Little shake. And then, and finally the fingers will come to the middle of the chest bone. And you can just rub up and down, left to right, or do circles. Making the heart sound, ah, or not. Focusing on that sea of tranquility. Storing up some good peace inside you from all your work. Inhale and then exhale. Relax. And with the eyes open or shut, you can take your internal temperature check again. Noticing how calm, relaxed, content, satisfied, loose you feel now. If you'd like, it's okay to rate that on that 0 to 10 scale again, where 0 means there's no relaxation or contentment. Everything's tight and hard. And 10 means you feel very flowy. Taking these checks and comparing how you feel at the beginning and end of the practice is a nice way to get instant feedback from your body about how it works for you. And next is our movement check. So here, again, we'll turn to one side. And then gently turn to the other side. And you may notice if your movement changes. We appreciate you joining us today. We hope you come back and do this practice and other practices that help you stay strong, healthy, vital, durable, independent as often as it works for you. Thank you so much.